Hello and welcome to Her Becoming. I am so happy to have each and every one of you here with us today. We have a very special episode with a wonderful, beautiful human. I am so lucky to be able to call a friend and an inspiration and a fellow Black woman in business. So I want to officially welcome my girl Yetti to Her Becoming.
Yes, finally. I feel like we spoke about this earlier on this year. We're finally making this magic happen.
We are here. It's funny, I was just recording a TikTok about how I have recorded 22 solo episodes before opening this show up to guests, right? Yeah, let's clap for that. Let's clap for that. But it's just such a showing of following the journey and going with the punches, even when something doesn't plan out the way that you think it would, because I would have loved to have you like episode 5, right? That was my vision. I'm like, episode 5, I'm gonna have guests by then, and here we are, episode 20 somethings. And I'm just so grateful that this lined up properly and that we get to share your magic with the world. Let me introduce Yetti to you all. Yetti is a mindset and self love coach. She is a phenomenal human being from top to bottom. I came across Yetti originally on Instagram. It turns out we just had similar worlds colliding. We are both in Phoenix. We shared the same business coach. Shout out to Kat, and have lots of mutual friends. And Yeti, you're someone who, the moment I saw your Instagram account, I was like, I love her. I want to be her friend. You have that effect on people. So, Yeti, I want to hear from you. Tell us about who you are and what you're passionate about, your business. Just give us the love.
I appreciate that. Oh my God. Can I have you intro me all the time? So yes, just like you said, I'm a mindset and self-love coach. I've been doing this for officially in business for 4 years on the 15th. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying that. Yes, officially full time 4 years on the 14th, but I actually started off as a blogger. And so I had my blog, Yetti Says, in which I just kind of word vomited my life on the internet for a little bit and then found my direction. And about around 2019, well, 2018, someone was just like, "Are you a coach?" And I was just like, "No, don't call me that word. You." And then, right. And then 2019, it was just like, oh, I think there's space for me to do this. As you know, especially being in Phoenix, Arizona, which is a big wellness hub, there's not a lot of people that look like us.
No.
There's not a lot of people that look like us and that serve us. And that was kind of one of my driving factors is like, if I can be of service to other people so they don't make the same mistakes that I did or take the scenic route in healing like I did. I want to do it. I want to be that person for them. So yes, that is who I am.
That is beautiful. And tell us a little bit about the work that you do and the type of person that you support.
So I'm a big mental health advocate. I have battled with anxiety and depression most of my life, not really knowing what it was until my early 20s. And this upcoming week, I'm actually coming up on my 7-year anniversary of being self-harm free.
Yay.
And I'm telling my age, but I'm turning 37 next month. And graduating college was the first time where I was just like, I don't know, what am I supposed to do next? I come from a Nigerian household, quite strict. And so I followed the rules, do what you're supposed to do in high school, get into a good college. My parents are African, so it's math, science, and engineering, doctor, lawyer, if you really feel like it. I chose the engineering route, followed the formula, started working as an engineer, and then the path kind of fell off. Like, okay, what am I supposed to do next?
Mm.
And they're just like, climb the corporate ladder, get married and have some babies, buy a house with a white picket fence. And I'm just like, that doesn't make me happy. That doesn't make me happy. And the more I force myself along this path that I ultimately didn't choose, the worse my depression got. I'm not claiming it anymore. The worse the depression got, and the anxiety heightened, like skyrocketed. And it was around then where I realized, like, I don't know who I am. I don't know who's this girl in the mirror. I don't know if I even like this girl in the mirror. All I know is I'm sad all the time, and I know that's not normal. And so the work that I have sought out to do is helping women, anyone, women of color, men of color, build a life that feels good from the inside out. I feel like we're always trying to create this cookie cutter type of lifestyle because that's what we see on TikTok and IG. Excuse my language, that shit is not real life. It's not real life at all. And so that is heavily what I do, working to help people rewrite their narrative, their story, and take back their life. Like, your life is yours, so act like it.
It's such a beautiful journey and a beautiful reflection. And what did it take for you mentally, physically, emotionally to really muster up the courage to go against the grain, go against the path that was laid out for you, and create this completely different, unique journey where you get to use your gifts? What was that turning point like for you?
I think it was a couple of them. I was born in the UK, moved to the US at age 11, 12. The debate, we're still having this debate, me and my parents. And like, I didn't grow up like everyone else did. I used to watch Full House, and I'm like, well, I want sleepovers and I want a friend that's across the street, and that wasn't happening. In most Black households, you're not having a sleepover unless like the parents have met each other, and you know what I mean. And so it was very much so. I can hear my father saying it: face your book. Are your friends going to pay for college? No, they're not going to pay for your book is going to pay for college. So I was a scholar inside the house, and I made friends on the internet at age 14. I started blogging when I was 14. Very unsafe. Do not recommend. But it was from there, writing became like my source of healing. I didn't really know that at the time. And so I wrote anonymously. And then after college, I was just like, I'm telling people who I am. That's what I'm going to do. And as I wrote and shared more about what was happening in my life and what I was feeling, as a 21-year-old, 22-year-old, I had this moment where I just told the world, like, hey, I'm a self-mutilator and I don't know how to stop. I've tried to stop. This is why I do it. This is how it makes me feel. And then I got that first comment of, oh my God, you look like me and I do it too. And so from there, it's just like, well, if no one is talking about it, let me share my journey to loving and liking myself, to healing, to exploring therapy. My public blog actually started off as a weight loss blog. And I lost a bunch of weight and I still didn't feel better. And I'm just like, okay, well, that didn't work. I have to figure out something else. And so the more I shared, the more I gained the courage, the more my parents kind of got on board with what they would call my Truman Show. And then it was the pandemic when I just realized that Black women need and deserve more. And I want to try and be part of the more. And so, 2021, I left my engineering job, that very beautiful paycheck, and embarked on this business. Coaching, and I also have my line of own affirmation. I started that a little earlier than the coaching.
Thank you for sharing that and for sharing that part of your story. Part of this show, I say this all the time, is just laying everything out there It's not censored. It's an open book type of show and an open book type of conversation. And it really is people like you, Yetti, specifically Black women like you, who show what's possible. I think that is my entire intention with having guests on this show is look at what all of these beautiful melanated women are doing and building and growing. And guess what? Anyone listening, you can do this too. You can take parts of your story, the painful parts, the beautiful parts, and turn them into a business, a brand, a lifestyle that supports you and gives you and fulfills you in that way. So thank you, Yetti, for being that example. We know that part of running a business as a fellow entrepreneur, growing a brand, part of this journey of becoming is pivoting and rolling with the punches and making really hard freaking decisions. So, what are a couple moments in these last few years where you've maybe been on the verge of quitting or you've had to pivot and make decisions in order to keep moving forward?
Where do I begin? Okay, so like the most recent one this year, I wanted to quit in March. I wanted to quit in March. The depression had gotten so bad that I was having suicidal ideations. Um, I live on the ninth floor with a very pretty balcony. And so it got to the point where I'm afraid of my balcony because I just envision, trigger warning, suicide, ending it all.
Mm-hmm.
And I made the difficult but best decision, I feel like, of my 30s of getting on antidepressants.
Good for you.
Like, there's such a stigma around it. And 2 years ago, my long-term relationship literally fell apart. It was the most gut-wrenching thing to experience. You're starting from scratch. You're figuring out who you are again. And then just the things that took place before it fell apart. Betrayal is just a different beast that I feel like people don't talk about. And so I was doing all the things. I got on my feet. I became very independent, but I did not heal from the relationship completely. And so all of that came crashing down after I run self-love month on every February. And I am, doing my self-love circus, and I do not feel like self-love Yetti. I'm very sad. I am mourning, and I'm taking the pills, and I don't care what people have to say. I don't care what my parents have to say. It's very taboo in an African household. But I found my happy again. And I feel like me again. I feel more like me. I feel like little Yetti. Not the Yetti who was like in survival mode, but like little Yetti who really didn't give a damn and was just out here doing what she felt like she wanted to do.
We love little Yetti, and thank you for sharing that because Western medicine and Eastern medicine can coexist, and there's a place for both. And brain chemistry is very real. And I think that we don't talk enough about that in the Black community. That brain chemistry is a real thing that antidepressants can absolutely support and help you get to the other side of. And there is nothing more important, in my opinion, than coming back home to yourself. And if antidepressants are helping you come back home to yourself, then who is anyone to say, judge, or believe anything outside of that? And so thank you for sharing that, Yetti. And I feel you on the relationship blowing up piece, especially the betrayal piece. And you said that was about 2 years ago for you. So that was right in you also building this business full time.
Oh, yeah. I had the rug completely like pulled out underneath me and trying to run a business, going from a two-person household to a one-person household. I'm not from here. I'm from the East Coast, Massachusetts. It was literally just me out here. And that was terrifying. It's probably one of the hardest things I've had to do is like, I really had to show up for myself.
Yeah. People don't realize how challenging it is to grow a business alongside personal battles and personal struggles. And a lot of times in entrepreneurship, especially with the presence of social media, you don't see the behind the scenes. So people are like, oh my gosh, look, she has a business. She can work from anywhere. She's doing the damn thing, blah, 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 blah. And they don't see what's going on behind the scenes. But you and I both know that there is a lot of muddiness, we'll call it, when you have to focus on finding clients, building an income, and also taking care of yourself. So, what did self love and self nurturing look like for you after that catastrophic event? And how did you re-find yourself to keep building?
First and foremost, because I know who I am, I know what I'm capable of. And like I said, I am a recovering self mutilator. I called my best friends and they set up a schedule and they flew in. I was not alone for the first 2 months. There was always somebody there. And being that I am the person, I like my space. I get homesick all the time. Girl, I love being a flight away. I love being a flight away. But it was an adjustment period of having someone in my space, but it was just, I needed to support myself. I need someone to catch me if and when I fall,
Yeah.
and make sure I don't stay down there too long, and make sure I eat, make sure I move my body. My best friend, also a Black female entrepreneur, has an agency for consultants. And so I became her lead senior consultant because
Amazing.
I can't search for clients and help them find healing when I'm like going through it. And so I leaned on my engineering degree. I got back in the saddle and it worked out well because I was remote and I could make my own hours, and I could pay my bills. I came completely off of social media. I was not servicing my business whatsoever. And I leaned on that, the normalcy of, I'm going to get a paycheck on this date. I got to show up and do XYZ. I don't have to be creative. And I also don't have to put on a happy face when there is no happy face to be found.
I relate to that so much. So I went back to my 9 to 5 in February, and then my life blew up in March. So it was just about a month later. And I can't even express how grateful I was in that moment to have a stable paycheck, a remote job, and to get to throw all of my expectations for my life out of the window for as long as I needed to. I don't have to show up on social media. I don't have to find clients. I don't have to create my own income, because that's what I'm talking about with that balance of growing a business and taking care of yourself. Is it is absolutely, I don't want to say impossible, but it feels impossible in that moment when you are completely shattered to pick yourself up off the ground and serve. And so I want that to be a reminder for anyone listening as well. A theme that we see in business, and especially as women entrepreneurs, are seasons of ebbing and flowing where you got to do what you got to do to keep your business alive. For you, that was going back into consulting. For me, that's being at my 9 to 5 to this day. And you have to learn to roll with the punches. So I thank you, Yetti, for sharing that with us, because I think, again, a lot of people see us on social media and they think it's all just unicorn and rainbows and butterflies.
No, seriously, honestly. And I have to also thank you because I never really shared why I disappeared from my business for a year. I kind of just popped back up. Didn't even talk about business stuff. I was just sharing pictures, documenting my move because I moved to a different town. I was in Tucson before. Um, and I've never actually shared like what has happened and what was happening to me. And you gave me so much courage to start to talk about it. I still don't do it very often. Um, but it's like a scarlet letter that, the self-love coach cannot be self-love Yetti. Like she has to take a break. She's very sad right now. Sad, mad as hell.
Yes, rage.
Rage, right, exactly. Um, And you gave me permission, I know how to come undone, but when you're in this space of like serving others and having clients, it's very scary to be like, hey, I'm not doing well right now. And then have them still trust you,
Yes.
still show up for them.
Yes.
And you didn't have to. And
Mm.
you got back on the internet and you took us along your journey of refining yourself and loving yourself through it. And I was just like, let me get the damn pills.
You're so sweet. Thank you for reflecting that back to me. And I've received a lot of feedback like that. And it's so funny to me because in the moment, it felt like there was no other option. It felt like I need, and maybe it was my like a little bit of my perfection and a little bit of my like almost just wanting to control my environment of like, I want people to see me. I want people to know me. That's always been who I am is like, I want people to know that if they're going through something similar, you can look to me and I got you. And so I think even in my darkest days, and I did take a couple months off, but when I came back, like, I never want people to experience the level of pain that I experienced, even though I know that they will. How can I be there to hold and support them in my complete imperfection? And that's what all of this breaks down to. Both of us in healing spaces, both of us in self love spaces, both of us in personal development work. You have to be able to learn to show up even on your worst days, knowing that imperfection is okay. And I think of myself as a consumer, and even just as a follower of you, Yeti, and the beautiful work that you do. And those days that you do show up on stories and you're like, I was going through this, or this happened, and this is where I'm at, it makes me trust you more. And that probably goes both ways, right? We, as people who work with coaches and build community, you actually, your trust increases when someone shows you who they really are.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that because my biggest issue with I guess our some of our counterparts and peers is you can't just do this thing of skipping to the good part
Correct.
because you give people a false hope that okay, healing is easy, or I just do some EFT tapping, talk to my therapist, and I'm Gucci. No, 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 baby. It's ongoing, and so I think it's important that people like you and I, especially in this industry, we show the good and we show the bad because we're not always gonna be 100%.
Yep.
It's impossible. No one is 100%. We're not Elmo. Like, we're not gonna have that big smile every day.
It's not possible. And so at the beginning of the episode, you said that when people were asking you if you were a coach, you had that ew reaction. And that's so common. I feel that too with the label coach sometimes. And I think it comes from this very thing. The coaching industry has this pattern, we'll call it, of showing up as perfectly healed, usually white, usually not inclusive of marginalized voices, and it's this perfect white picket fence image. And so that's why I think we're so important to this industry because not only are we bringing voices of color and these powerful stories that are our own, but I often think about how important it is and how rare it is to come across women that do show their imperfection and do share from the middle because we know that from the middle is where the transformation is actually happening. If we think of the butterfly journey, it's the cocoon. It's the caterpillar to the cocoon to gain your wings. And I don't want a butterfly coach personally. I want a wing coach. I want someone that's going to be in there with me, like down and dirty. Down and dirty. So something I want to talk about, Yeti, is you talk a lot about being your own dream girl. So let's take it there. I want to know, like, where did that originate from? Where does it come from? What does it mean to you? And how can we embody that? I want to be my own dream girl.
Actually, it began when my life imploded.
Okay. There's a theme here.
Um, after long-term relationships, you've been with someone for so long, you've planned out your future, you've adopted some of their quirks, they've adopted some of your quirks, and when an abrupt separation takes place, I honestly got on the phone or the Zoom call with my therapist and was just like, I don't know who I am. Like, I was working towards certain things, and now those things do not matter to me anymore. I don't know what I want. It's been, 2 years, and I'm still putting pieces together of like what it is that I want. Um, and the first thing she said to me, she's like, okay, let's not even think about future. Let's talk about Yetti right now. Like, who is Yetti? And I had to learn to root into myself. There's no one else to bounce decisions off of. Like, you're making decisions for you. And this is all not just simply from the breakup. Again, I come from an African household, so I'm constantly told like what I'm supposed to do, what I'm supposed to look like, how I'm supposed to show up. And for the first time, I was given an opportunity where I get to be whoever I want to be. And that, one, terrifying, but two, like, hell yes. Okay, bet. Give me the whiteboard. I'm ready.
Yes.
And so I started to pull bits and pieces of myself that I really love. I love that I'm creative. I love that I'm low key in your face. I'm never going to be the coach that is soft spoken and maybe does yoga every morning and she has a vegan lifestyle. No, do I care what I put in my body? Absolutely. I know that gluten is the absolute enemy of my stomach. Yeah. I'm clearly going to follow a protocol for that, but I don't have to fit into this mold of what a self-love coach looks like. I also no longer have to fit into the mold of the good Nigerian daughter, because being the good Nigerian daughter has cost me so much of my mind and so much of my life that I'm now feeling like I've only began to live life at my big age of 35, 36, 37. And so I looked at my vision board that I had made at that time. There's a bunch of images from Pinterest, which is wonderful. I still suggest that you do it. But your dream girl can't be some random from Pinterest. Your dream girl is you.
Yes.
Like, we're not aspiring to be anyone else except the best, the greatest, the highest version. That bad bitch, that is you. You.
Point at yourself, everyone. If you're listening, point at yourself. It's you. I love
And so that, it made it like really not easy, but enjoyable after that, because I'm not going after a body type that doesn't look like mine. I got curves, I got thighs that are never going away. It doesn't matter. They're never going away. And I've grown to love them. My clothing, my aesthetic, for a long time, I was a designer girly. I still am a designer girly. I like nice things. But I don't need the next bag that drops. I don't need any of that. Like, this is what my style is. I'm actually very simple. I am a white tee, white bodysuit, holy jeans, baggy jeans type of girl, and that is okay. Like, letting go of all the expectations gave so much confidence. And so, again, you gave me the courage to design things from my story. And so that's where the dream girl came from. I was just like, I want to share this. I kind of gamified it, but like share this game that I created for myself to get me back to me.
Yeah.
And help other people apply it to their lives so they can get back to them too.
It's such a beautiful reflection, because we are taught to look at other people to find inspiration. That is the default is, oh my gosh, that's my dream body, that's my dream car, that's my dream job. Every single thing that we are taught to dream of is outside of ourselves. And so it's no wonder that when we look in the mirror, especially as young girls, teenagers, young adults, we're not taught to look in the mirror and say, that is exactly what I want, because that wasn't even programmed into us. And so there is something so healing. And the same thing that you were saying after that breakup, my favorite thing has been doing whatever the F I want to do. Quite literally going to outside and playing with my friends when I want, scheduling appointments when I want, without having to consider anyone. And to me, that is my dream life. On my terms, being on my terms, living on my terms, and serving myself is my dream life. And an affirmation that I use almost daily that I share on this podcast a lot is nothing is missing. Because we are taught that things are missing. And so when we are thinking about being our own dream girl, you can be your own dream girl now because nothing is missing.
Nothing is missing.
Nothing is
I
missing.
love that.
It's good. It's a good one. You take that, girl. You take it. I love sharing that with people because again, we just always think we need more. We always think that we need the external validation and the material things and the next package that's getting delivered to get those dopamine spikes. And the reality is, nothing is missing. Innately, nothing is missing, especially for women who are healing. We have the power to heal ourselves. I truly believe that. It's a journey. It feels shitty. You're going to be on the flow. You're not going to feel good. But that doesn't mean just because your ass is on the floor doesn't mean things are missing. Nothing is missing. You just have to get to the other side of it. And so when I have seen you post about Dream Girl the Dream Girl, that's something that has just felt so resonant and so real with my journey, especially. I want to talk a little bit about Yetti's wellness routines and Yetti's practices. Share with us, because you are someone that holds so much space for other people, while, of course, also navigating your own mental health and your own holistic health and wellness. So, walk us through some practices or habits or routines that keep you feeling like yourself.
So, one key thing for me is, and I do this with my clients, when you are creating routines for yourself or when you're creating habits for yourself, you need to make sure that you're catering to your mind, you're catering to your body, and you are catering to your spirit. It's an ecosystem. So all three parts need to be fed. For my mind, I am EFT certified. And honestly, I did it because I need a certification. I'm going to be a self-love coach. I need to be able to tell people I can do certain things. And 2 years ago, I realized it helped to shift energy around in my body. It also helped me to really push back and reprogram my thoughts. My inner bully was wild. She used to talk to me crazy. Exactly. And just the somatic practice of EFT like really has changed my life. That coupled with breath work is my new thing. Breath work had me on the floor.
It'll do that to you. It will do that to you.
I was like, it's just breathing. No, it's not.
Rookie mistake. No, it's not.
It's not. I'm in class. I'm crying. But yes, so for my mind, it's like meditations, a lot of time by myself, like, but productive time, not the isolation boo-hooing, but productive time by myself, getting to know myself. Body, I am a gym girly. I'm not necessarily, because I'm afraid. I just have to go with somebody. I'm afraid to do classes, group classes. But moving my body has done wonders for anxiety, depression. It's just like, it's impossible to be in a bad mood after a good gym session.
Yes.
And I like to lift heavy. That is my thing. And then for my spirit, I don't talk about it much. I'm an intuitive. It low-key runs in my family. I have
Mhm.
fought it all of my life.
Mhm.
But it's also helped me realize that half the time when I'm feeling anxious or I'm feeling something, it's not me.
Mhm.
So anyone who is like, they think they're an empath and you're feeling things like immensely, chances are you might be intuitive too. I used to carry a lot of people's problems, which, as you can know, as you would assume, coaching,
Yeah.
talking about the difficult things, and I would leave like drained.
Mhm.
So I have a lot of spiritual, energetic cleansing practices.
Mhm.
Um, I am in touch with God, you know, my ancestors, my spirit guides. But I try to at least hit one thing from each category, mind, body, spirit, in the morning and in the evening. Because if
Mhm.
you do not, I say this all the time, you are raw dogging your day. You are
No
raw
one
dogging your day.
has their day. I
And
love
then if you don't do it at night, you're taking the dirt from the day into your bed. Ew, you don't
not the
sit in
outside
your
clothes
bed.
in the bed.
Exactly. You don't go to bed in your outside clothes. So don't do that energetically either. Um, so yes, that would be most of my routines. This year I've gotten really, really, not critical. I've started to pay a lot more attention into the things that I consume, like eating as well as reading, watching, and listening. And that has been doing wonders for me too.
I love that. Just awareness of what is going into your body from a nutrition aspect, but also visually and audibly as well is super important. I really love breaking your practices into those categories of mind, body, and spirit because that's helping you diversify what you're doing. And I think that's something that I'm possibly struggle with a bit is I right now I am 10 toes down on meditation. This morning I hit 140 consecutive days of meditation. I am in it. In it, girl. Meditation is like my thing right now. But I think I could use a little bit of balance. So I'm going to adopt that mind, body, spirit approach myself. Because definitely, especially on the spirit side, after going through such a catastrophic few months, I feel that that's something that I could use more of. And so thank you for sharing that practice with us. Okay. To wrap things up, my favorite question, who are you currently becoming? So who or how are you evolving into this next season of life?
Okay, so my new year starts on my birthday. I am that annoying person that celebrates all year long. It's not November, it is Yetember.
Yes.
I've been doing it for like 17 years now. My friends, they all know the vibes. Um, but I told myself last year that I really wanted to bloom. And when you say that, you think of florals and how pretty, but flowers have to withstand so many seasons.
Mhm.
And ooh, child, did God give me some seasons.
Mhm.
Um, and I am becoming someone that is so rooted in who she is. I don't give a damn what other people have to say or think about me. It's just none of my business. I do not care. I am on flourish mode. Get out of my way. You're blocking my sun.
Yes. Yes, Yetti. I love.
It's so funny because I didn't say that until I think you know Camila.
Mhm.
Um, I was chit chatting with her, and I was just like, you know what? I think I did bloom this year. I did bloom this year, and so my next phase is to do so in the space of business. Also, um, I don't want to shrink.
Mhm.
I don't want to shrink anymore, and I also do not want to compromise myself to fit into certain spaces. Spaces. If I don't fit into that space, I'm gonna create my own.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Again, for the people in the back, I love that. I absolutely love that. And this is so funny as you're saying all of this. So I have this flower tattoo back here, And my favorite poet is Cleo Wade, one of my favorite poets, I should say. She got me through a tough time years ago, but this flower was specifically inspired by her quote that says, "You are the strongest flower that ever bloomed. Remember that when the weather changes." I'll have to find it and send it to you because it lives in my head, it lives on my body, and it just makes me feel like we are meant to be in this moment together right now. And so I'm just honored to share that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for having me here.
Oh my gosh, an absolute honor to have you here. I already know I want to have you back. I want to record in person with you. I want to dive deep into like relationship shit. I want to dive deep into like our lives blowing up. Like I think that needs to be studied, honestly. The pipeline from catastrophic event to flourishing, blooming woman. So that will be coming, y'all. Expect a part 2 conversation in the future. But for now, Yetti, how can the listeners support you, connect with you, and follow you?
I am Yetti Says with 2 T's everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. That is where you can find me. I have a newsletter that goes out every Monday where I try to pour into you guys. It's a little bit more personal than what you'll see on, the socials. And if you are ready to become your dream girl, work with your boo. I
Yeah.
got you.
Such an honor. Anyone would be absolutely just blessed to be in your space and to be in your energy. I will put all of your information, all of your links in the show notes for everyone. Trust me, y'all, if you're listening, follow Yetti, get into her magic, get into her space. It's just, in my opinion, I am very picky about who I consume on the internet. And Yetti is one of those women that 10 toes down, I'm gonna be in that audience. I'm gonna be on the stories. I'm gonna be there listening, full attention. So thank you, Yetti, for the woman that you've become. Thank you for coming on to this show, being honest with us, being real with us, showing us that the journey of entrepreneurship, but also the journey of self-discovery, it comes with some shit. It does. Thank you.
And thank you for creating this space. It's needed.
Of course. We will be back, you guys. You can expect more of this duo in the future. But for now, share it with your friends, the homegirl, your bestie. Let the world know that Kay and Yetti are here for each and every one of you. And I will see you on the next episode. Be well.